Pay attention to this photograph. April 17th, 8:47 p.m. Lobby of the Meridian Grand Hotel. Downtown Financial District. Two people stand by the elevator bank. The woman's hand rests on the man's chest. His hand curves around her waist. They are kissing. Not a greeting. Not goodbye. The kind of kiss that requires both people to forget where they are. The woman wears a navy blue wrap dress. The man is in a charcoal suit, tie loosened at the collar. Through the lobby windows behind them you can see the street. Cars passing. People walking. A normal Tuesday evening. Nobody inside the hotel pays attention to them. Except one person. The person taking this photograph. Her name is Celeste Monroe. 26 years old. Executive assistant to Vivian Laurent for 3 years. She was at the Meridian Grand picking up documents from a client meeting. She walked through the lobby at exactly 8:47 p.m. She saw them. She recognized them both immediately. She took 4 photographs. This one was the clearest. The man in the photograph is Dashiell Laurent. 42 years old. Architect. Runs his own firm, 12 employees, projects across 3 states. Married 12 years. The woman is Marlo Hayes. 39 years old. Interior designer. High-end residential and commercial clients. Also married. Also Vivian Laurent's best friend since law school. 17 years of friendship. Maid of honor at Vivian's wedding. Godmother to no one because Vivian and Dashiell never had children. Too busy. Careers first. Partnership tracks and project deadlines. Always next year. Always when things settle down. Celeste stood in that lobby for 11 seconds. Her finger hovered over her phone screen. Delete or show. Ignorance or truth. She remembered something Vivian said during her first week of work. I don't pay you to protect my feelings, Celeste. I pay you to protect my interests. Never confuse the two. She kept the photographs. She would show Vivian the next morning. What Celeste didn't know. This wasn't the first time Dashiell and Marlo met at the Meridian Grand. This was the 47th time. Every Tuesday and Thursday for 8 months. Same hotel. Different rooms. Sometimes room 804. Sometimes 1211. Always between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. Always when Vivian was working late at Barrett and Klein law offices. Which was almost always. April 18th, 9:15 a.m. Vivian's corner office. 14th floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the harbor. Ships moving slowly across gray water. Vivian is reviewing a deposition transcript when Celeste knocks. 2 quick taps. Their signal for urgent. Come in. Celeste closes the door behind her. Locks it. Vivian looks up from the transcript. Studies her assistant's face. What happened? I need to show you something. Celeste's voice is steady, but her hands aren't. I'm sorry. She places her phone on Vivian's mahogany desk. The photograph fills the screen. Vivian stares at it for 8 seconds without moving, without blinking. Lawyers are trained not to react. Trained to absorb information without broadcasting emotion. She picks up the phone. Zooms in on Marlo's hand. On Dashiell's hand. On the timestamp in the corner. Where was I on April 17th at 8:47 p.m.? Celeste already checked the calendar. Deposition prep. The Morrison case. You were here until 11:30. Vivian nods slowly. Sets the phone down on the desk between them. Her voice doesn't change. Send me these photographs. All of them. Delete them from your phone and your cloud. Never mention this conversation to anyone. Not your boyfriend. Not your mother. Not anyone. What are you going to do? Vivian looks at her assistant. Really looks at her. My job. I'm going to build a case. Celeste leaves. Vivian sits alone in her office with the photograph still glowing on the desk. She doesn't cry. Doesn't scream. Doesn't throw anything. Doesn't call Dashiell. Doesn't call Marlo. She opens her laptop. Creates a new encrypted folder. Types a label. Evidence. She saves the 4 photographs Celeste sent. Then she picks up her office phone. Direct line. Bypasses the receptionist. The number she dials belongs to Raymond Cass. Private investigator. Former police detective. 22 years on the force before he went private. She's used him for 3 client cases. Discreet, thorough, expensive, worth every dollar. He answers on the second ring. Cass. Raymond, it's Vivian Laurent. I need surveillance on 2 people. My husband, Dashiell Laurent, and a woman named Marlo Hayes. I need everything. Where they go. When. How often. I need hotel records if you can access them. Credit card statements. Phone records. Text message recovery if possible. And I need it done quietly. Very quietly. Silence on the line for 3 seconds. How long has this been going on? I don't know yet. That's what I'm hiring you to find out. Once you see everything, you can't unsee it. You sure you want to know? I'm a lawyer, Raymond. I've seen worse. She hasn't. Not like this. Not about her. For the next 6 weeks, Vivian lives 2 lives. In the first life, she's the wife. She comes home to their renovated brownstone on Ashwood Street. Parks in the driveway beside Dashiell's car. Walks through the front door. Kisses him hello. Asks about his day. Listens to him talk about the new office building project his firm just won. The Fletcher Tower renovation. 17 floors. 2-year timeline. She smiles. Says she's proud of him. Asks if he wants pasta or chicken for dinner. In the second life, she's the prosecutor. She reviews surveillance reports in her locked office after everyone else goes home. Studies photographs delivered in unmarked envelopes. Reads transcribed text messages recovered from Dashiell's cloud backup that he thought was secure but wasn't. Nothing is secure from someone who knows where to look. Raymond delivers his first report on April 25th. 1 week after the initial photograph. The report is 11 pages. Single-spaced. Times New Roman font. Professional. Devastating. Subject. Dashiell Laurent. Age 42. Secondary subject. Marlo Hayes. Age 39. Surveillance period. April 18th through April 24th. Observations. Subjects met 3 times during surveillance period. April 19th, April 21st, April 24th. All meetings at Meridian Grand Hotel. Check-in times, 6:34 p.m., 6:41 p.m., 6:28 p.m. Check-out times, 9:52 p.m., 10:15 p.m., 9:47 p.m. Rooms registered under Dashiell Laurent's name. Payment method. Corporate credit card linked to Laurent Architecture Firm. Vivian stops reading at that detail. Corporate credit card. He was expensing hotel rooms to his business. For his affair. With her best friend. She keeps reading. Additional investigation into hotel records. Front desk manager cooperative after appropriate financial motivation. Records show pattern of consistent bookings dating back 8 months. First booking, August 23rd. Frequency, twice weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Total visits, 47 documented instances. Average duration, 3 hours, 21 minutes. 47 times. 8 months. 3 hours and 21 minutes per visit. She does the math automatically. 160 hours. Almost 7 full days. A full week of her marriage spent in hotel rooms while she was 12 blocks away reviewing contracts and preparing arguments. The report continues. Text message recovery successful. Cloud backup accessed. Sample messages included in appendix. Vivian flips to the appendix. Reads the first exchange. Marlo. Can't stop thinking about yesterday. Dashiell. Me neither. Tuesday. Marlo. Always Tuesday. Your wife working late again. Dashiell. Partnership dinner. Won't be home until 11. Marlo. Perfect. I'll wear that thing you like. Dashiell. You're going to kill me. Marlo. That's the plan. Vivian closes the report. Places it in the encrypted folder on her laptop. She sits in her dark office. Looks out at the harbor. The ships are still there. Still moving slowly. Everything outside continues exactly as it was. Only everything inside her has changed. She opens her calendar. Scrolls forward. May 3rd. 12 years exactly since she married Dashiell. She blocks the entire evening. Types in capital letters, "Anniversary party." Then she picks up her phone. Calls Dashiell. He answers after 2 rings. "Hey babe, what's up?" Her voice is warm. Easy. The voice of the wife in the first life. "I was just thinking, our anniversary is coming up. 12 years. I know. I've been meaning to make reservations somewhere nice. Actually, I was thinking something bigger. What if we threw a party? Really celebrate. Invite everyone. Make it special." Hesitation on his end. "Just for a moment. You hate throwing parties. You always say they're too much work. This is different. It's our marriage. It should be celebrated properly. Don't you think?" More hesitation. She can hear him thinking, trying to figure out if this is a trap. But he can't see how it could be. Yeah, okay. That sounds great actually. Perfect. I'll handle everything. You just show up and look handsome. That I can do. He laughs. She doesn't. Over the next 2 weeks, Raymond's reports pile up. More hotel visits. More text messages. More credit card charges. But now Vivian has something else. A timeline. A financial trail. Video evidence. Raymond managed to obtain hotel security footage. She watches it alone in her office at midnight. Watches Dashiell and Marlo walk through the lobby holding hands. Watches them wait for the elevator. Watches them kiss. Again and again. Different dates. Same pattern. She also obtains something Raymond wasn't asked to get. Bedroom footage. How he accessed it, she doesn't ask. Private investigators have methods. The footage is grainy. Black and white. Silent. But it shows enough. More than enough. This footage will play at the anniversary party. Vivian sends the first invitation on April 27th. Digital. Elegant design. Gold script on cream background. You are cordially invited to celebrate 12 years of marriage. Dashiell and Vivian Laurent. May 3rd, 7 p.m. The Ashford Estate. She sends it to 47 people. The same number as their hotel visits. Colleagues from her law firm. Dashiell's business partners. Friends from law school. Friends from architecture school. Relatives. Neighbors. And Marlo Hayes plus her husband Griffin. Marlo receives her invitation at 3:24 p.m. She's at her design studio reviewing fabric samples when her phone chimes. She opens the email. Stares at it for 18 seconds. Then she calls Dashiell. "Did you know about this party? Vivian just told me a couple days ago. Said she wanted to do something special. Dashiell, I can't go to this. Griffin will be there. You'll be there with Vivian. It's too weird. You have to go. You're her best friend. If you don't show up, she'll know something's wrong." Silence. "We need to stop this. Before the party. Before someone figures it out. One more time. Tomorrow. Thursday. Then we'll talk about it. About what we're going to do. What we're going to do. There's nothing to do except end this. Is that what you want?" Marlo doesn't answer immediately. That's answer enough. Tomorrow. 6:30. Meridian Grand. They meet on April 28th. Room 804. Raymond photographs them entering at 6:34 p.m., leaving at 9:41 p.m. Vivian receives the photographs at 10:15 p.m. She's home when they arrive. Dashiell is in the shower. She's sitting on their bed reviewing the photos on her phone when he walks out. Towel around his waist. Hair still wet. "You okay? You look stressed." She looks up at him. At the man she married 12 years ago. The man who promised to love her and only her. Just a long day. The Morrison case is complicated. He sits beside her on the bed. Puts his hand on her knee. The party will be fun. A nice break from all the work stress. She nods. Smiles. Yes, it will be very memorable. The Ashford Estate is a restored mansion on the east side of the city. Private event venue. Popular for weddings and corporate functions. Vivian books it for May 3rd. $8,000 for the evening. She pays with her personal account. Not the joint account. She doesn't want Dashiell seeing the charge until after. She meets with the estate coordinator on April 29th. A woman named Patricia, mid-50s, efficient, professional. So this is an anniversary party? How many years? 12. Wonderful. What kind of atmosphere are you looking for? Intimate. Elegant. I want a seated dinner. 3 courses. Open bar. And I need excellent AV capabilities. Patricia makes notes on her tablet. AV capabilities? I'm putting together a tribute video. Our relationship through the years. Photos, clips, that sort of thing. I'll need a large screen, professional sound system, and I'll need to control it from my phone or a laptop. We can absolutely accommodate that. We have an 80-inch screen we can set up in the main dining room. Connects via wireless to any device. Perfect. Vivian also hires a video editor, a freelancer named Marcus who works out of a studio apartment in the warehouse district. She meets him on April 30th. Brings a hard drive with all the footage. Hotel security cameras. Bedroom surveillance. Text message screenshots. Credit card statements. Everything. I need this compiled into a 10-minute video. Chronological order. Start with the first hotel visit. Build to the most recent. Include timestamps. Include the text messages overlaid on the footage. Make it clear what's happening and how long it's been happening. Marcus watches some of the footage. Looks uncomfortable. This is, pretty personal stuff. You sure you want this in a video? I'm paying you $3,000 for 2 days of work. I'm very sure. Okay, but just so you know, this is probably going to hurt whoever watches it. That's the point. She picks up the finished video on May 2nd. Watches it alone in her office at 11 p.m. The office is dark except for her computer screen. The video starts with black screen. White text appears. August 23rd. The first time. Then hotel footage. Dashiell and Marlo walking through the Meridian Grand lobby. Holding hands. Entering an elevator. Cut to text messages. Can't wait to see you Tuesday. I'll be thinking about you all day. Cut to bedroom footage. Grainy. Black and white. But unmistakably them. Unmistakably intimate. The video continues. September visits. October. November. December. January. February. March. April. 47 hotel visits compressed into 10 minutes. The text messages get more explicit as the months progress. I love the way you touch me. I wish we could do this every night. She doesn't need to know. What she doesn't know won't hurt her. The video ends with the most recent footage. April 28th. 6 days ago. Room 804. The final text message appears on screen. One more time before we stop. Then black screen. White text. They never planned to stop. Vivian watches it 3 times. Her hands shake during the first viewing. Steady by the second. Completely calm by the third. She saves the video to a USB drive. Labels it Anniversary. Places it in her purse. May 2nd. Evening. Vivian comes home at 7:30 p.m. Dashiell is in the kitchen making dinner. Pasta carbonara. Her favorite. He's wearing the blue sweater she bought him for Christmas. He smiles when she walks in. Kisses her cheek. Tomorrow's the big day. You excited? Very. She sets her purse on the counter. The purse with the USB drive. Thank you for doing this. For agreeing to the party. Of course. 12 years is a big deal. He stirs the pasta. I've been thinking a lot lately. About us. About how lucky I am. Lucky. To have you. To have this marriage. I know I don't say it enough, but I'm grateful. For everything we've built. She watches him stir the pasta. Watches him lie without knowing he's lying. Because he believes what he's saying. In this moment, in this kitchen, making her favorite dinner, he believes he's a good husband. He's compartmentalized so completely that the Dashiell who spends Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Meridian Grand doesn't exist in this kitchen. Only this Dashiell exists. The one who makes pasta carbonara and wears the Christmas sweater and says he's grateful. I'm grateful too, she says. For tomorrow. For everyone seeing exactly what our marriage is. He smiles. Doesn't hear the truth hidden in her words. It'll be great. Everyone we care about in one place. Everyone they care about. Including Marlo and Griffin. Griffin Hayes, Marlowe's husband of 9 years. Works in finance. Senior analyst at Westfield Capital. Travels frequently for work. 3 or 4 days a week sometimes, which made the affair convenient. Griffin trusted Marlowe completely. Never questioned where she was. Never checked her phone. Never hired private investigators. Vivian met Griffin at Marlowe's wedding 9 years ago. Vivian was maid of honor. Dashiell gave a toast about love and commitment and how lucky Griffin was to marry such an amazing woman. They all drank champagne and danced until midnight, and Vivian held Marlowe while she cried happy tears. 17 years of friendship. 9 years of marriages existing side by side. Double dates. Holiday dinners. Vacation planning that never quite happened because everyone was too busy. And for 8 months of that, Marlowe was sleeping with Dashiell every Tuesday and Thursday while Vivian worked late and Griffin traveled for business. May 3rd. Anniversary day. Vivian wakes at 6 a.m. Dashiell is still asleep beside her. She watches him for 2 minutes, studies his face, tries to remember when she stopped knowing him, or if she ever really knew him at all. She gets up, showers, dresses for work, leaves the house by 7:15 a.m. drives to the office. Spends the day in meetings and depositions and conference calls. Normal day, normal routine. At 4 p.m., she leaves early, tells her secretary she needs to prepare for the party. She drives to the Ashford estate. Arrives at 4:45 p.m. Patricia is already there with the catering staff. Tables arranged. White linens. Gold flatware. Centerpieces of white roses and eucalyptus. The 80-inch screen mounted on the north wall of the dining room. She tests it. Connects her laptop wirelessly. The screen illuminates. Perfect clarity. She loads the video. Watches the first 30 seconds on the screen. Hotel lobby. Dashiell and Marlowe. Holding hands. The image is crystal clear. Undeniable. She disconnects. The screen goes dark. Everything look good? Patricia asks. Everything looks perfect. At 6:30 p.m., Vivian is back home. Dashiell is already dressed. Navy suit. White shirt. No tie. He looks handsome. He always looks handsome. That was never the problem. You look beautiful, he says when she comes downstairs in a black cocktail dress. Simple. Elegant. Easy to move in. They drive to the Ashford estate together. Arrive at 6:50 p.m., 10 minutes before guests. The staff is ready. Bartender behind the antique bar. Servers with champagne trays. Everything exactly as Vivian planned. The first guests arrive at 7:02 p.m. Colleagues from Barrett and Klein. Then more. Dashiell's business partner. Vivian's law school friends. Relatives. Neighbors. By 7:25 p.m., 43 people have arrived. At 7:28 p.m., Marlowe and Griffin walk through the door. Marlowe is wearing a green silk dress. Hair pulled back. Minimal jewelry. She looks nervous. Her eyes scan the room until they find Dashiell. He's talking to his business partner near the bar. He doesn't look at her. Practice distance. Griffin is relaxed. Smiling. Shakes Dashiell's hand when they approach. 12 years, man. That's impressive these days. Dashiell laughs. Just lucky, I guess. Vivian appears beside them. Embraces Marlowe. Holds her best friend close. Whispers in her ear. I'm so glad you came. Marlowe's body is tense. Of course. Wouldn't miss it. Griffin hugs Vivian. Thanks for inviting us. This place is incredible. Only the best for our anniversary. Vivian links her arm through Marlowe's. Come on. Let me show you where you're sitting. She walks Marlowe to their table. Front and center. 15 feet from the screen. Perfect view. Griffin follows. They sit down. Marlowe's hands are shaking slightly. She picks up her wine glass to hide it. By 7:45 p.m., all 47 guests have arrived. Dinner service begins. First course. Arugula salad with goat cheese and candied walnuts. Second course. Pan-seared salmon with lemon butter. Third course. Filet mignon with roasted vegetables. Dessert will be served after. But there won't be dessert. Vivian barely eats. She watches the room. Watches Dashiell laugh with his colleagues. Watches Marlo push food around her plate. Watches Griffin enjoy his meal, oblivious. She checks her watch. 8:32 p.m. servers are clearing the main course plates. At 8:43 p.m., she stands, picks up her champagne glass, taps it gently with a knife. The room gradually quiets. All eyes turn to her. Thank you all for being here tonight. Her voice carries easily, clear, strong. 12 years ago, I married Dashiell Laurent in front of our closest friends and family. We promised to love each other, to honor each other, to be faithful to each other. Dashiell smiles, raises his glass toward her from across the room. Vivian continues. Tonight, I want to share something with all of you, a tribute to our marriage, to show you what these 12 years have really looked like. She pulls out her phone, opens the app connected to the screen. The room's lighting dims automatically. The screen illuminates. Dashiell's smile falters slightly, confused. White text appears on screen. August 23rd, the first time. Then hotel footage begins to play. Dashiell and Marlo walking through the Meridian Grand Lobby, holding hands. The room goes completely silent. The footage plays for 7 seconds before anyone reacts. 7 seconds of Dashiell and Marlo walking through the Meridian Grand Lobby, their hands intertwined, her head leaning toward his shoulder, him smiling down at her. The timestamp in the corner reads, August 23rd, 8:34 p.m. Then someone gasps, a woman near the back, one of Vivian's colleagues from Barrett and Klein. The sound breaks the silence like glass shattering. Dashiell stands abruptly. His chair scrapes against the hardwood floor. Vivian, what are you? Sit down. Her voice cuts through the room. Sharp, precise. The voice she uses in court when opposing counsel tries to interrupt. Everyone is going to watch this. The video continues. Cut to text messages overlaid on black screen. White text. Easy to read from anywhere in the room. Marlo. Can't stop thinking about yesterday. Dashiell. Me neither. Tuesday. Marlo. Always Tuesday. Griffin Hayes is staring at the screen. His wine glass frozen halfway to his mouth. His face hasn't changed yet. Still processing. Still not quite believing what he's seeing. The footage shifts. Now it's bedroom surveillance. Grainy. Black and white. But unmistakably the two of them. Unmistakably intimate. The angle suggests a hidden camera. Positioned high. Looking down. You can see everything. The bed. Their bodies. The way Marlo arches her back. The way Dashiell's hands move across her skin. A man near the bar turns away. Can't watch. Several women cover their mouths. One older woman, Dashiell's aunt, stands up and walks toward the exit. She doesn't run. Just walks steadily like she's trying to maintain dignity while everything around her collapses. Marlo is frozen in her seat, staring at herself on screen. Her face has gone completely white, bloodless. She tries to stand, but her legs won't work. She grabs the edge of the table for support. The video moves forward chronologically. September visits. October. November. The text messages become more explicit with each passing month. I love the way you touch me. I wish we could do this every night. Does your wife know you're with me? She's working late. She won't know. What she doesn't know won't hurt her. More bedroom footage. Different dates. Different positions. Same two people. The timestamps pile up. Tuesdays and Thursdays. 6:30 p.m. check-ins. 9:30 p.m. checkouts. Over and over. A pattern so consistent it looks like a schedule. Because it was a schedule. Griffin finally moves. He sets his wine glass down very carefully on the table. Doesn't drop it. Doesn't throw it. Just places it down with mechanical precision. Then he stands. His movements are slow. Deliberate. Like he's moving through water. What the fuck is this? His voice is quiet. Almost conversational. That's what makes it terrifying. The absolute calm. Vivian looks at him directly. Makes eye contact. Your wife. My husband. 8 months. 47 times. Every Tuesday and Thursday while you were traveling and I was working late. The video continues playing behind her. March footage now. Marlo and Dashiell entering the Meridian Grand at 6:41 p.m. The front desk clerk hands them a key. Room 1211. They walk to the elevator. While they wait, Dashiell's hand slides down Marlo's back. Possessive. Familiar. The gesture of someone who's done this many times before. Marlo finally finds her voice. Vivian, please. I can explain. Explain. Vivian's laugh is sharp. Bitter. Nothing like her normal laugh. Explain which part? The 8 months? The 47 hotel visits? Or maybe explain how you looked me in the eye every single time we had coffee and listened to me talk about my marriage while you were fucking my husband twice a week. Griffin starts walking. Not toward the exit. Toward Dashiell. His footsteps are steady. Heavy. The room parts around him. People instinctively moving out of his way. Dashiell sees him coming. Backs up against the bar. Hands come up defensively. Griffin, listen, we need to talk about this. Griffin's fist connects with Dashiell's jaw before the sentence finishes. The sound is sharp. Brutal. Bone on bone. Dashiell's head snaps sideways. He crashes into the bar. Glasses shatter. Liquid spreads across the antique wood. 2 of Dashiell's colleagues rush forward. Try to grab Griffin's arms. Pull him back. But Griffin is 41 years old and runs 5 miles every morning and lifts weights 4 times a week. He shrugs them off like children. Grabs Dashiell by his shirt collar. Hauls him upright. Punches him again. This time in the stomach. Dashiell doubles over. Coughs. Blood spatters from his mouth onto his white shirt. On screen, the video reaches April. The most recent footage. April 28th. 6 days ago. Room 804. The bedroom surveillance is clearer for this one. Better lighting. You can see their faces. See Marlo saying something. See Dashiell laughing. See them both clearly enjoying themselves. Clearly comfortable. Clearly in love with whatever this thing between them is. The final text message appears. One more time before we stop. Then black screen. White text. They never planned to stop. Vivian walks toward Marlo. Her heels click against the hardwood. Every eye in the room tracks her movement. Marlo is still sitting. Still frozen. Tears streaming down her face now. Mascara running black streaks down her cheeks. 17 years. Vivian's voice is conversational now. Almost friendly. That's worse than the earlier sharpness. We met in constitutional law. First year. You borrowed my notes when you had the flu. I helped you study for the bar exam. You stayed up with me 3 nights straight when my mother died. You held my hand when I was terrified about getting married. You said, Dashiell is one of the good ones, Viv. You're so lucky. Marlo tries to stand. Vivian pushes her back down into her chair. You were my maid of honor. You gave a toast at my wedding. You said we were soulmates. You said you'd never seen 2 people more perfect for each other. Do you remember what you said at the end of that toast? Marlo doesn't answer, just shakes her head, crying harder now. You said, to Vivian and Dashiell, may you always be each other's safe place. That's what you said. Safe place. And then for 8 months, you fucked my husband in hotel rooms while I was 12 blocks away thinking you were my best friend. I'm sorry. Marlo's voice breaks. I'm so sorry, Viv. I never meant. The slap happens before Marlo finishes the sentence. Open palm. Hard enough that Marlo's head turns. Hard enough that the sound echoes. A red handprint blooms immediately on Marlo's cheek. Don't call me Viv. Don't call me anything. Don't ever speak to me again. Behind them, Griffin has Dashiell on the floor now. Straddling him. Punching systematically. Left fist. Right fist. Left. Right. Dashiell's face is unrecognizable. Blood everywhere. His nose clearly broken. One eye already swelling shut. He's trying to protect his face with his arms, but Griffin just punches through them. 8 months. Griffin's voice is raw. Screaming now. 8 fucking months? 3 men are trying to pull Griffin off. Can't move him. He's locked in place. Possessed by something beyond rage. Beyond thought. Pure animal violence. Dashiell chokes on blood. Griffin, please stop. You were at my house. You came to dinner. You sat across from me and talked about architecture, and you smiled, and the whole time you were fucking my wife. Another punch. Dashiell's head bounces off the hardwood floor. His arms fall away from his face. Can't protect himself anymore. Griffin doesn't stop. Grabs Dashiell by the collar. Lifts him. Slams him against the floor. Lifts him again. Slams him harder. Guests are screaming now. Someone yells to call 911. A woman near the door is already on her phone. Crying. Saying there's a fight. Saying someone's going to die. Saying please send police and ambulance. Marlo suddenly moves. Stands from her chair. Tries to go toward Griffin. Toward Dashiell. Stop! You're killing him. Vivian grabs her arm. Spins her around. They're face to face. Close enough that Vivian can see her own reflection in Marlo's tears. Let me go. Marlo tries to pull away. He's going to kill Dashiell. So? Isn't that what you wanted? My husband dead so you could have him? That's not. I never. Marlo shoves Vivian. Hard. Both hands against her chest. Vivian stumbles backward. Her heel catches on something. The edge of the area rug. She falls. Her lower back hits the glass dining table. The impact tips the table. Glass and metal. Expensive. Heavy. Unstable by design. Tilts. Vivian grabs for purchase. Finds nothing. The table goes over. The crash is enormous. Glass exploding outward across marble floor. Hundreds of pieces. Thousands. The metal frame clatters. Champagne flutes and wine glasses shatter. Liquid spreading. Red wine looks like blood in the dim lighting. Vivian lands in the wreckage. Broken glass underneath her. Cuts open across her back. Across her hands where she tried to catch herself. Blood seeping through the black fabric of her dress. She lies there for 2 seconds. Maybe 3. Feeling the glass beneath her. Feeling the pain radiate from a dozen cuts. Then she sees it. Right beside her left hand. A large piece of the table. Triangular. 9 inches long. Tapered to a point. The edge looks sharp enough to cut breathing. She picks it up. Stands slowly. Glass falls from her dress. Blood drips from her hands. She's holding the shard like a knife. Grip wrapped around the wider end. Point facing outward. Marlo is backing away. Vivian. Don't what? Don't be angry? Don't be hurt? Don't protect what's mine. I never wanted to hurt you. But you did. Every Tuesday. Every Thursday. 47 times. Vivian moves forward. Marlo moves back. They're circling now. Predator and prey. Other guests have backed away. Giving them space. Everyone watching. Nobody intervening. Frozen by shock or fear or the awful fascination of watching something terrible unfold. It just happened, Marlo says. Desperate. Still backing away. We didn't plan it. It was just what? Just 8 months? Just 47 hotel rooms? Just my entire marriage destroyed while you pretended to be my friend. Marlo's back hits the wall. Nowhere left to go. Vivian is 3 feet away. 2 feet. The glass shard reflecting light. Covered in Vivian's blood already. Please. Marlo's voice is tiny now. Childlike. Please, Viv, we can fix this. We can talk about this. I told you not to call me that. Vivian lunges forward. Grabs Marlo's arm with her free hand. Pulls her away from the wall. Marlo tries to twist away. They struggle. Marlo gets one hand around Vivian's wrist. The wrist holding the glass. Trying to control it. Keep it away. They're chest to chest now. Faces inches apart. Vivian can smell Marlo's perfume. The same perfume she's worn for 10 years. The same perfume Vivian helped her pick out at the department store for her 30th birthday. The same perfume that was probably all over Dashiell every Tuesday and Thursday when he came home and kissed Vivian hello. This is what betrayal feels like, Vivian says quietly. Only Marlo can hear. Then she drives the glass shard into Marlo's neck. The glass enters just below Marlo's left ear. Sinks in 3 inches. Maybe 4. Vivian feels resistance. Feels tissue separating. Feels something give way deep inside. She doesn't pull it out. Leaves it there. embedded. For 1 second, nothing happens. Marlowe's eyes go wide. Her mouth opens. No sound comes out. Her hand is still wrapped around Vivian's wrist, gripping tight. Then her grip loosens. Her hand falls away. Blood appears at the wound site. Not a trickle. A jet. Arterial spray. Pulses with Marlowe's heartbeat. Shoots forward in a pressurized stream. Hits Vivian's face. Her neck. Her chest. The black dress turns blacker. Soaked instantly. Marlowe's hands fly to her neck. Try to cover the wound. Can't. Blood pumps through her fingers. Runs down her arms. Drips from her elbows. She makes a sound. Wet. Gurgling. Like she's trying to breathe underwater. Her knees buckle. She drops. First to her knees. Then forward onto her hands. Kneeling in her own blood. The pool spreads fast. Impossibly fast. 3 feet wide in seconds. The green silk dress is completely red now. Vivian stands over her, watching. Her own hands are covered in blood. Marlowe's blood mixing with her own from the glass cuts. She can taste copper. Realizes blood has splattered into her mouth. She doesn't wipe it away. Marlowe collapses completely. Face down. Body convulsing. Her legs kick out. Heels scraping against marble. Trying instinctively to crawl. To escape. But there's nowhere to go. Her neck is severed. Her carotid artery cut clean through. Blood is leaving her body at a rate that makes survival impossible. Behind them, Griffin hears the screams. Different screams now. Higher pitched. More urgent. He turns from Dashiell. Sees Marlowe on the floor. Sees the blood. Marlowe! He's off Dashiell instantly. Running. Slips in the blood. Goes down hard on one knee. Gets up. Reaches Marlowe. Drops beside her. Rolls her over. Her eyes are open but unfocused. Blood bubbles from her mouth with each attempted breath. No, 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 no. Griffin's hands press against her neck. Trying to stop the bleeding. Can't. Blood pumps between his fingers with each heartbeat. Each pulse weaker than the last. Stay with me. Stay with me. Baby, please. Marlowe tries to say something. Her lips move. No sound except wet gasping. Her hand reaches up. Touches Griffin's face. Leaves a bloody handprint on his cheek. Then her hand falls. Drops into the blood pool beside her. Griffin looks up. Sees Vivian standing there. Still holding a glass shard. Still covered in blood. Their eyes meet. You killed her. His voice is flat. Empty. You killed my wife. Vivian doesn't respond. Doesn't move. Just stands there like a statue. Like she's watching something happening to someone else. Dissociated. Detached. The lawyer part of her brain has shut down. Something more primitive has taken over. Griffin stands slowly. Marlowe's blood runs down his arms. Drips from his hands. He looks at Dashiell. Dashiell is trying to sit up against the bar. Face destroyed. Blood everywhere. But conscious. Alive. Watching. Griffin walks to the buffet table. There's a carving station. Prime rib. The chef abandoned it when the fighting started. Left everything. Including an 8-inch carving knife. Professional grade. Sharp enough to cut through bone. Griffin picks it up. Tests the weight. Looks at Dashiell. Griffin. Dashiell's voice is garbled. Talking through broken teeth and blood. Don't. Please. This isn't. Isn't what? Isn't fair? You fucked my wife for 8 months. You sat in my house. Ate my food. Shook my hand. And the whole time you were inside her. The whole time you were taking what was mine. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. It was. A mistake? 47 times isn't a mistake. That's a choice. You chose this. Every Tuesday. Every Thursday. You chose her over your wife. Over your marriage. Over any shred of human decency. Dashiell tries to stand. Can't. Legs won't support him. He slides back down the bar. Leaves a blood smear on the antique wood. Griffin crosses the room. Guests scatter. Someone screams, "Stop him!" Nobody tries. They just back away. Create a path. Let it happen. Witnesses to an inevitable conclusion. Griffin reaches Dashiell. kneels beside him, looks him in the eyes. My wife is dying on the floor over there. She's choking on her own blood. Because of you. Because you couldn't keep your dick in your pants. Griffin, please. The first stab goes into Dashiell's upper left chest. Just below keep your dick in your pants. He collarbone. The knife slides in easily. Griffin feels it punch through skin, muscle, slide between ribs. Dashiell screams. A raw animal sound. His hands come up. Grab Griffin's wrists. Try to push the knife away. Can't. Griffin is stronger. Angrier. More determined. Griffin pulls the knife out. Blood wells in the wound. Soaks into Dashiell's white shirt. He raises the knife again. This is for every lie. Second stab. Lower. Right side of the abdomen. Dashiell's scream is weaker now. His hands fall away from Griffin's wrists. Can't fight anymore. Can't do anything except take it. This is for every time you touched her. Third stab. Left side of chest. Higher than the first. Closer to the heart. Dashiell coughs. Blood sprays from his mouth. His eyes are rolling back. Body going into shock. And this. Griffin raises the knife one more time. This is for making me watch her die. Fourth stab. Center chest. Right between the ribs. The blade sinks in all the way to the handle. Griffin feels it punch through something. Something that gives way with a horrible wet resistance. Dashiell's heart. Dashiell's body jerks once. His mouth opens. No sound. His eyes stay open but the light behind them goes out. Just like that. One moment a person. The next moment meat. The transition happens in the space between heartbeats. Griffin leaves the knife buried in Dashiell's chest. Stands up. Looks around the room. 47 guests. At least 30 of them have phones out. Recording. Every moment documented. Every stab captured from multiple angles. Evidence that will convict him. Evidence he doesn't care about. He walks back to Marlo. She's still on the floor. Still lying in blood. But she's not moving anymore. Not breathing. Her eyes are open. Staring at nothing. The blood has stopped pumping from her neck. Her heart has stopped. She's been dead for maybe 90 seconds. Bled out while Griffin was killing Dashiell. He kneels beside her again. Picks up her hand. It's already getting cold. He brings it to his lips. Kisses her knuckles. His lips come away red. I'm sorry, he whispers. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. Sirens now. Multiple vehicles. Police. Ambulance. Fire trucks. Someone called them. Probably several people. They've been on the way for minutes. They're close now. Vivian hasn't moved. Still standing where she killed Marlo. Still holding the glass shard. Blood dripping from her hands. From her dress. She's looking at nothing. Seeing nothing. Gone somewhere inside herself where reality can't reach. Guests are clustered near the exits. Some crying. Some in shock. Some still recording. One woman is vomiting in the corner. A man is sitting on the floor with his head between his knees. Someone is praying. The Lord's Prayer. Audible in the terrible silence. The front doors burst open. Police rush in. 6 officers. Weapons drawn. They scan the room. See 2 bodies. See 2 people covered in blood. See the weapons. The glass shard. The knife still protruding from Dashiell's chest. Drop the weapons. Hands up. Now. Vivian blinks. Comes back. Looks down at her hand. Sees the glass shard. Doesn't remember picking it up. Doesn't remember the stabbing. Remembers Marlo pushing her. Remembers falling into the table. Then nothing. A blank space where violence should be. Her brain protecting her from the memory. She drops the shard. Clatters on marble. She raises her hands. Blood runs down her arms. The cuts on her back and hands are still bleeding. She's lost blood too. Not as much as Marlo. Not fatal. But enough that the room tilts slightly. Enough that she sways. Griffin doesn't raise his hands. Just stays kneeling beside Marlo. Holding her hand. The officers surround him. Keep weapons trained on him. Sir. I need you to stand up and put your hands on your head. Griffin doesn't move. Doesn't acknowledge them. Just keeps holding Marlo's hand. looking at her face, memorizing it, because he knows this is the last time, knows prison is coming, knows he'll never touch her again. Sir, I will not ask again. Stand up now. For officers move in. Grab Griffin's arms. Force him to his feet. One officer keeps a weapon on him while the others cuff his hands behind his back. He doesn't resist, doesn't fight, just lets them do it. Lets them take him away from Marlo. They walk him toward the door. He looks back once. Sees her lying there. Sees the blood. Sees Vivian being cuffed too. Their eyes meet for half a second. Two people who destroyed their lives in the same room at the same time for the same reason. Then they're separated. Different officers. Different patrol cars. Different lives from this moment forward. Paramedics rush in. Check Dashiell first. Feel for pulse. Find nothing. Shine light in his eyes. No response. Dead. Time of death will be estimated at 8:56 p.m. They move to Marlo. Same checks. Same result. Dead. Estimated time of death 8:54 p.m. She died 2 minutes before Dashiell. Bled out while Griffin was stabbing him. She was already gone when he came back to hold her hand. The lead detective arrives. Marcus Reeves. 19 years in homicide. Seen everything. Car crashes. Gang violence. Murder-suicides. Domestic abuse cases. But this is different. This is 47 witnesses. Multiple videos. Clear documentation of every moment. This is premeditated public revenge that became double homicide. He walks through the scene, careful not to disturb evidence. Sees the blood patterns. The glass table wreckage. The carving knife still in Dashiell's chest. The glass shard on the floor. The screen on the wall still frozen on hotel footage. He asks the AV tech to show him what played. Watches 3 minutes of it. Understands immediately what happened here. Jesus Christ, he mutters. Then to his partner, get statements from everyone, every single person, and get copies of all those phone videos. We're going to need everything. Outside, Vivian and Griffin are in separate patrol cars. Vivian in Unit 347. Griffin in Unit 352. Parked 20 feet apart. Both sitting in back seats behind cage dividers. Both covered in blood. Both silent. Vivian stares straight ahead. The lawyer brain is coming back online. She knows what's next. Booking. Interrogation. Charges. Bail hearing. Trial. Prison. She knows the process intimately. Helped put people through it hundreds of times. Never thought she'd experience it herself. Griffin turns his head. Looks out the window. Can see the Ashford estate. Can see paramedics bringing out 2 body bags. Black vinyl. Zipped shut. Marlo is in one of those bags. The woman he married 9 years ago. The woman who promised to love him and only him. The woman who broke that promise 47 times. The woman he killed for. Both patrol cars pull away at 9:18 p.m. Sirens off. No need to rush. The dead aren't in a hurry. They drive to Central Metro Police Department. Arrive at 9:34 p.m. Separate entrances. Separate processing rooms. Separate futures that lead to the same place. Prison. Central Metro Police Department. Booking area. Fluorescent lights. Beige walls. The smell of disinfectant and stale coffee. 9:34 p.m. Vivian is processed first. Fingerprints. Photographs. Front view. Side view. Height measurement against the wall. She stands exactly where they tell her. Turns when they say turn. Opens her mouth when they check for contraband. Lifts her tongue. Turns out her pockets. Everything by procedure. The booking officer is a woman named Patricia Alvarez. 15 years on the force. She's seen thousands of people come through this room. Drunk drivers. Drug dealers. Domestic abusers. Murderers. But this woman is different. Completely calm. No tears. No protests. No demands to call a lawyer. Just compliance. Name. Vivian Loron. Age. 40. Occupation. Corporate lawyer. Barrett and Klein Law Offices. Patricia pauses. Looks up from her computer. You're a lawyer? Yes. Then you know you have the right to an attorney. I am an attorney. I don't need another one yet. Patricia continues typing. You're being charged with murder in the first degree. Death of Marlo Hayes, age 39, caused by penetrating trauma to the carotid artery resulting in exsanguination. Vivian doesn't react, just nods once. Patricia has seen people break down at this moment. Seen them collapse. Seen them scream or vomit or beg. Vivian does none of these things. She stands straight, hands at her sides, blood dried on her black dress, blood under her fingernails, blood in her hair. Do you understand the charges? Yes. Do you wish to make a statement at this time? No. Medical evaluation. The EMT noted multiple lacerations. Back and hands. You need treatment before we process you into holding. I understand. They take her to the medical room. Small space. Examination table. Cabinets with supplies. A nurse practitioner named David Kim is waiting. He's contracted with the police department. Treats inmates 3 nights a week. Mostly knife wounds and overdoses. Sometimes worse. I need to remove your dress to treat the back wounds. Vivian nods. Turns around. David unzips the dress. Peels away from the cuts. Dried blood has glued fabric to skin. She doesn't flinch when it pulls. Doesn't make a sound. He counts 12 separate lacerations. None deep enough for stitches. He cleans them with antiseptic. Applies bandages. Treats the hand wounds. Wraps both palms in gauze. You're going to have scars. I know. Are you in pain? Yes. I can give you something for it. No. He doesn't argue. Gives her orange scrubs to replace the dress. Size medium. She changes without asking for privacy. David turns away anyway. Some dignity should be preserved even here. Even now. 20 feet away in a different processing room. Griffin is going through the same procedure. Different officer. Same questions. Same photographs. Same fingerprints. He's larger than Vivian. 6'2", 215 pounds. They classify him as high risk due to the violence severity. The booking officer for Griffin is Marcus Webb. 23 years on the force. He's processing a man covered in 2 people's blood. The man's wife's blood. Another man's blood. The carving knife is already in evidence. Tagged. Photographed. Ready for trial. Name. Griffin Hayes. Age. 41. Occupation. Senior analyst. Westfield Capital. Marcus types slowly. 2-finger method. You're being charged with murder in the first degree. Death of Dashiell Loran. Age 42. Caused by multiple stab wounds. For total. 1 penetrated the heart. Griffin's jaw tightens. First visible reaction. How's Marlo? Marcus looks up from the computer. Your wife? Yes. She didn't make it. Died in the ambulance. 9:17 p.m. Griffin's face doesn't change. But something behind his eyes does. The last small piece of hope extinguished. He knew. Saw the blood. Saw how much. Saw her stop moving. But knowing and hearing official confirmation are different things. One leaves room for miracles. The other doesn't. I want to see her. That's not possible. I want to see my wife. She's at the medical examiner's office. Autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow morning. You won't have access. Griffin's hands form fists. The officer behind him tenses, ready to intervene. But Griffin doesn't move. Just stands there with clenched fists and devastation written across his face. They take him to medical too. Different room. Same contractor. David Kim treats him after Vivian. More blood to clean. Marlo's blood soaked into his shirt. His pants. His shoes. Dashiell's blood splattered across his face and hands. David works methodically. Has him remove all clothing. Bags it for evidence. Griffin stands naked under fluorescent lights while David photographs bruising on his knuckles. Photographs blood spatter patterns on his skin. Documents everything. Any injuries? No. The bruising on your knuckles. Does that hurt? I don't care. David gives him the same orange scrubs. Size large. Griffin dresses slowly, like each movement requires thought, like his body is operating separately from his mind. By 10:47 p.m., both are processed into holding. Separate cells. Different blocks. Men's and women's facilities are in different wings. They won't see each other. Won't communicate. Won't share space again until trials if they're transported on the same day. Unlikely. Vivian's cell is 8 by 10 feet. Concrete walls. Metal bed frame. Thin mattress. Stainless steel toilet. Small sink. One blanket. She sits on the bed. Doesn't lie down. Just sits with her back against the wall. Hands resting on her knees. The gauze bandages are already showing blood seepage. The cuts are still oozing. Other women in nearby cells are talking. Yelling to each other. Someone is singing. Someone else is crying. Vivian hears all of it but processes none of it. She's replaying the evening. The video. The toast. Marlowe's face. The glass table shattering. The shard in her hand. Then nothing. A blank space. Then Marlowe on the floor. Blood everywhere. She killed someone. She knows this intellectually. The evidence is overwhelming. Her fingerprints on the glass. Her DNA under Marlowe's fingernails where Marlowe tried to fight. Witness testimony. Video footage. But she can't access the memory. Can't feel the moment of decision. The moment of action. It exists in a locked room in her mind that won't open. Griffin's cell is identical dimensions. Different block. He lies down immediately, curls on his side, faces the wall. Other men are making noise too. Someone is arguing with guards. Someone is banging on bars. Griffin doesn't hear any of it. He's back at the Ashford estate, watching the video, seeing Marlowe on screen with Dashiell, seeing the timestamps, seeing 8 months of betrayal compressed into 10 minutes. He's also seeing her on the floor, the blood pumping from her neck, her eyes looking at him, her hand touching his face. That was the last thing she did. The last moment of consciousness. She used it to touch him. Even after everything. Even dying because of choices she made. She touched him. He doesn't cry. Can't. Something inside has calcified. Hardened beyond the reach of tears. He just lies there. Breathing. Existing. Waiting for whatever comes next. At 11:34 p.m., Detective Marcus Reeves begins interviewing witnesses at the Ashford estate. The bodies have been removed. The blood is still there. Crime scene techs are processing everything. Photographing. Measuring. Collecting samples. The screen is still on the wall. Frozen on hotel footage. Marcus has it shut off. Tells the AV tech to preserve the video file. Chain of evidence. He interviews 47 people. One at a time. Some are coherent. Some are hysterical. All tell the same story. The video played. The fight started. The woman stabbed the other woman. The man stabbed the other man. Both victims died. Both killers covered in blood. No ambiguity. No uncertainty. This will be the easiest. Case Marcus has worked in 5 years. He reviews cell phone videos. 27 total. Different angles. Different quality. But all showing the same events. The prosecution will have their choice of evidence. Multiple videos showing Vivian grabbing Marlowe. Showing the struggle. Showing the stabbing. Multiple videos showing Griffin stabbing Dashiell. For distinct thrusts. Clear intent. Clear excessive force. One video was taken by a woman named Jennifer Cho. She's a colleague of Vivian's from Barrett and Klein. She filmed the entire sequence. From the moment the screen lit up until police arrived. 14 minutes of footage. She's sitting in the estate's library now. Wrapped in a blanket someone gave her. Shaking. I couldn't look away, she tells Marcus. I knew I should stop recording. Should help. Should do something. But I just kept filming. Like it wasn't real. Like I was watching a movie. The footage will be used as evidence. We'll need your phone. She hands it over. Is Vivian going to prison? That's for a jury to decide. She's a good person. She's a good lawyer. Good friend. This isn't who she is. Marcus has heard variations of this 47 times tonight. Good person. Not who they are. Wouldn't hurt anyone. People say this about murderers constantly. Can't reconcile the person they know with the person who killed someone. But Marcus has worked homicide for 19 years. He knows good people kill. No nice neighbors murder. No loving parents stab. Everyone is capable under the right circumstances. Or the wrong ones. At 1:23 a.m., the medical examiner completes preliminary assessments of both bodies. Dashiell Laurent. For stab wounds. 3 would have been fatal individually. The 4th, the one to the heart, killed him within 30 seconds. Death occurred at approximately 8:56 p.m. Marlo Hayes. Penetrating trauma to left carotid artery. Massive blood loss. Death occurred at approximately 8:54 p.m. She bled out in under 3 minutes. The Me notes something else. Marlo Hayes has bruising on her upper arms. Finger-shaped. From being grabbed. Time of bruising matches time of death. Defensive wounds on her hands. Glass fragments embedded in her palms. She tried to fight. Tried to protect herself. Didn't succeed. By 3 a.m., the district attorney is notified. Catherine Morse. 48 years old. DA for 6 years. Conviction rate of 87%. She's at home when her phone rings. Answers on the 3rd ring. This better be important. Double homicide. Anniversary party. Affair exposed publicly. Wife killed husband's mistress. Mistress's husband killed the wife's husband. 47 witnesses. 27 videos. Both suspects in custody. Catherine sits up in bed. Turns on the lamp. Tell me you're joking. Wish I was. Media is already swarming. This is going to be everywhere by morning. Who are the suspects? Vivian Laurent, corporate lawyer, and Griffin Hayes, finance executive. Both professional. Both educated. Both covered in their victim's blood. Charges. Murder 1 on both. I'm recommending separate trials. Catherine thinks for 10 seconds. Agreed. We try them separately. Who do we try first? The wife, Vivian Laurent. Video shows she initiated the grab. She blocked the exit. The mistress pushed her in defense. Then she retaliated with deadly force. Self-defense claim will be weak. What about the husband? Griffin Hayes. For stab wounds. Excessive force. But strong emotional disturbance angle. He watched his wife die. Snapped. Defense will argue temporary insanity. Can we beat that? We can. Video shows time between stabs. Shows he walked to get the knife. Shows deliberation. Not temporary insanity. 2nd-degree murder minimum. Catherine gets out of bed. Starts getting dressed. I'm coming in. Schedule bail hearings for tomorrow afternoon. I want them both denied. Flight risk. Danger to community. And get me everything. Every video. Every witness statement. Every piece of evidence. I want this airtight. At 6:47 a.m., the story breaks. Local news first. Then national. Headlines everywhere. Double murder at anniversary party. Affair exposed on video leads to bloodbath. 2 dead after husband reveals wife's 8-month affair. The cell phone videos leak within hours. Dashiell and Marlo on screen. Vivian stabbing Marlo. Griffin stabbing Dashiell. Graphic. And censored. Millions of views by noon. Social media explodes. Half the comments sympathize with Vivian and Griffin. I'd do the same thing. They deserved it. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The other half condemns the violence. Murder is never justified. 2 wrongs don't make a right. They should rot in prison. Nobody is neutral. Everyone has an opinion. Legal experts weigh in. Television lawyers analyzing the case. Debating self-defense. Debating temporary insanity. Debating premeditation. Most agree on one thing. Both will be convicted. The only question is degree. 1st degree or 2nd degree. Murder or manslaughter. Life sentences or decades. At 2 p.m., bail hearings begin. Vivian's hearing first. She's transported from holding to the courthouse. Shackled. Orange scrubs. Hair unwashed. Face pale. She sits at the defense table. No lawyer yet, representing herself temporarily. Judge Helena Winters presides. 62 years old. Appointed 15 years ago. Fair but strict. She reviews the charges. Reviews the evidence summary. Looks at Vivian. Ms. Laurent, you're charged with murder in the first degree. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. The prosecution is requesting bail be denied. Do you wish to be heard on this? Yes, Your Honor. I'm not a flight risk. I have no criminal history. I'm a member of the bar in good standing. I request reasonable bail. Catherine Morse stands. Your Honor, the defendant is charged with brutal murder. 47 witnesses. Clear video evidence. She has significant financial resources. Access to offshore accounts through her law firm. She's absolutely a flight risk. Additionally, she demonstrated extreme violence. She's a danger to the community. Judge Winters doesn't deliberate long. Bail is denied. The defendant will be held without bail pending trial. Next hearing in 30 days for arraignment. Vivian doesn't react. Expected this. Knew the evidence was too strong. She's escorted out. Back to holding. Back to the 8x10 cell. Griffin's hearing is at 3:30 p.m. Same judge. Same prosecutor. Different defendant. Griffin sits at the defense table. He has a public defender now. Malcolm Price. 51 years old. Overworked. Underpaid. Handling 37 cases simultaneously. Mr. Hayes, you're charged with murder in the first degree. How do you plead? Not guilty. The prosecution is requesting bail be denied. Catherine stands again. Your Honor, the defendant stabbed the victim 4 times. Excessive force. Brutal violence. Multiple witnesses. Clear video documentation. He poses significant danger. Bail should be denied. Malcolm Price stands. Your Honor, my client has no criminal history. He's employed. He has ties to the community. He's not a flight risk. He acted in extreme emotional disturbance after witnessing his wife's murder. This isn't premeditated violence. Bail should be set. Judge Winters looks at Griffin. Studies him. Mr. Hayes, did you stab Dashiell Laurent 4 times? Griffin meets her eyes. Yes. Did you intend to kill him? Long pause. Yes. Malcolm Price winces. Never let your client speak. First rule of defense. Too late now. Judge Winters doesn't hesitate. Bail is denied. The defendant is remanded to custody pending trial. Arraignment in 30 days. Griffin is escorted out. Back to his cell. Back to lying on a thin mattress staring at concrete walls. By evening, both are back in holding. Separate facilities. Separate futures. But connected by the same event. The same party. The same betrayal. The same violence. The same blood. 6 months pass. Both remain in county detention. Separate facilities. Both are model detainees. No incidents. No fights. No rule violations. Vivian spends her time reading law books. Preparing her defense. She's representing herself. Against advice. Against logic. But she insists. She knows the law better than any appointed defender would. She knows what she did. Knows the evidence. Knows her only chance is to control the narrative. Griffin accepts the public defender. Malcolm Price. They meet weekly. Go through evidence. Build the defense strategy. Extreme emotional disturbance. Temporary loss of rational thought. Griffin watches his wife die. Sees arterial spray. Sees her bleed out. Something breaks inside his mind. He becomes temporarily insane. Acts without conscious thought. The law allows for this. Doesn't excuse murder. But reduces the degree. 2nd degree instead of 1st. 15 years instead of life. December arrives. Trial date set. Vivian's trial first. Scheduled for December 14th. Department 7. Judge Helena Winters presiding. Catherine Morse prosecuting. Vivian defending herself. Jury selection takes 3 days. They seat 12 jurors and for alternates. 7 women. 5 men. Ages ranging from 23 to 68. Mix of backgrounds. retail workers, teachers, engineers, accountants, people who will decide if Vivian Laurent is a murderer or a woman who defended herself against attack. Opening statements begin December 18th. Catherine Morse speaks first, stands before the jury, makes eye contact with each person. Vivian Laurent planned a party, invited 47 people, including her husband, including her best friend Marlo Hayes, including Marlo's husband Griffin. She told everyone this was an anniversary celebration, 12 years of marriage. But it wasn't a celebration. It was an execution. She discovered her husband's affair. She hired a private investigator. She gathered evidence, video footage, hotel records, text messages, 8 months of documentation. Then she planned the perfect revenge. Public humiliation followed by murder. She didn't call a lawyer, didn't file for divorce, didn't confront them privately. She created a scenario where she could kill Marlo Hayes in front of witnesses and claim self-defense. This wasn't passion. This wasn't temporary insanity. This was cold, calculated murder. Catherine sits down. Vivian stands, walks to the jury. She's wearing a navy suit, professional. Her hair is pulled back. The cuts on her hands have healed. Small scars visible. She speaks clearly. No notes. My name is Vivian Laurent. 6 months ago, I killed Marlo Hayes. I'm not going to deny that. The evidence is overwhelming. But I want you to understand why. For 17 years, Marlo was my best friend. She was the person I called when my mother died. The person who held my hand at my wedding. The person I trusted completely. For 8 months, she betrayed that trust. She slept with my husband 47 times, in hotel rooms, while I worked late thinking she was my friend. The night of the party, I showed everyone the truth. The video evidence. Marlo tried to leave. I blocked her. She pushed me. I fell into a glass table. It shattered. I was lying in broken glass, bleeding. She pushed me. I defended myself with what was available. A glass shard. I didn't plan to kill her. I planned to expose her. But when she attacked me, I protected myself. That's not murder. That's self-defense. The trial lasts 3 weeks. Catherine presents 47 witnesses, 27 videos, hotel records, text messages, medical examiner testimony. Each video is played for the jury. Each shows the same sequence. Vivian blocking Marlo's exit. Marlo pushing. Vivian falling. Then the stabbing. Frame-by-frame analysis shows Vivian grabbed Marlo first, pulled her close, then stabbed. Not defensive, aggressive, intentional. Jennifer Cho testifies. Vivian's colleague, the woman who filmed everything. She sits in the witness box, describes what she saw. Vivian grabbed Marlo's arm, pulled her away from the wall. Marlo tried to get away. They struggled. Then Vivian stabbed her. In the neck. Marlo fell. Blood everywhere. Vivian just stood there, watching. Cross-examination. Vivian questions her own colleague. Jennifer, did you see Marlo push me first? Yes. Did you see me fall into the glass table? Yes. Did you see the table shatter? Yes. Did you see me bleeding? Yes. So I was injured before I picked up the glass? Yes, but... Thank you. No further questions. The medical examiner testifies, describes Marlo's wounds, shows diagrams. The blade entered at a downward angle. Suggests the attacker was above the victim. Marlo was on her knees or falling when stabbed. Not standing. Not aggressive. Defensive posture. Vivian cross-examines. Doctor, is it possible Marlo was bending down when stabbed? Possible, but unlikely given the angle. But possible? Yes. So we can't know for certain her position? Not with absolute certainty, no. The prosecution rests after 17 days. Vivian presents her defense. She calls character witnesses, colleagues from Barrett and Klein. They testify she's ethical, professional, not violent. She calls Raymond Cass, the private investigator. He describes the 8-month affair, the 47 hotel visits, The evidence he gathered establishes betrayal, establishes motivation, not for murder, for confrontation. Vivian testifies in her own defense, sits in the witness box, describes the marriage, the trust, the discovery, the investigation, the decision to confront publicly. I wanted everyone to know the truth. I wanted them exposed. I wanted their reputations destroyed the way they destroyed my marriage. I never planned to hurt anyone physically. But when Marlo pushed me into that table, when I was bleeding and she was trying to leave, something broke. Couldn't let her walk away. I couldn't let her escape consequences. So I grabbed her. And when we struggled, when she fought back, I defended myself. Catherine's cross-examination is brutal. Ms. Laurent, you're a lawyer. You know the legal definition of self-defense. You know it requires imminent threat. Was Marlo Hayes threatening your life when you stabbed her? She pushed me into glass. I was injured. Answer the question. Was she threatening your life? She was trying to escape. That's not an answer. Yes or no? Was your life in danger? Long pause. No. So you didn't stab her in self-defense. You stabbed her because you wanted to. I stabbed her because she destroyed my life and tried to walk away like it didn't matter. Thank you. No further questions. Closing arguments happen on January 11th. Catherine summarizes the evidence. This was murder, premeditated, executed publicly. The defendant planned the party, planned the video, planned the confrontation. She wanted Marlo Hayes dead. The evidence proves it. The videos prove it. Her own testimony proves it. Find her guilty. Vivian gives her closing. I'm not asking you to excuse what I did. I'm asking you to understand it. 17 years of friendship. 12 years of marriage. 8 months of betrayal. I exposed the truth. Marlo attacked me. I defended myself. That's not murder. That's a woman who reached her breaking point. The jury deliberates 11 hours. Comes back with a verdict. Guilty. Not first-degree murder. Voluntary manslaughter. They believed she didn't plan to kill. Believed the struggle escalated. Believed emotion overwhelmed reason. But they didn't believe self-defense. Didn't believe her life was threatened. Didn't believe the stabbing was necessary. Sentencing happens January 25th. Judge Winters reviews the evidence. Considers the circumstances. Ms. Laurent, you killed someone. Regardless of betrayal. Regardless of provocation. You took a life. The sentence is 18 years in state prison. Eligible for parole after 12 years. Vivian doesn't react. Expected this. Better than life. Better than first degree. She's 40 years old. She'll be 52 at earliest release. 58 if she serves full term. Half her life gone. But not all of it. Griffin's trial begins February 3rd. Same courthouse. Same judge. Different prosecutor handles this one. James Mitchell. Younger than Catherine. More aggressive. The defense is Malcolm Price. They present extreme emotional disturbance. Griffin watched his wife die. Watched arterial spray. Watched her bleed out on marble floor. His mind broke. Temporarily. He became incapable of rational thought. The 4 stabs weren't calculated. They were reflexive. Animal response to trauma. The trial lasts 2 months. Every video is played. Every witness testifies. The medical examiner describes Dashiell's wounds. For separate stab wounds. 3 would have been fatal. The 4th was excessive. Suggests continued intent after initial stabbing. Griffin testifies. Describes his marriage. 9 years. Good years. Happy years. Then the party. The video. Seeing Marlo on screen with Dashiell. Seeing 8 months compressed into 10 minutes. I watched my wife die. Watched her bleed from her neck. Watched her try to breathe and couldn't. Something in my head just broke. I don't remember walking to the buffet table. Don't remember picking up the knife. I remember looking at Dashiell. Remember thinking he caused this. He killed her. Not Vivian. Him. His affair. His choices. I remember stabbing him. Remember feeling the knife go in. But I wasn't thinking. Wasn't planning. Just acting. Cross-examination. James Mitchell stands. Mr. Hayes, how much time passed between the first stab and the second? I don't know. The video shows approximately 4 seconds. Plenty of time to stop, to think, to make a choice. But you didn't stop. You stabbed him again, then a fourth time. That's not reflexive. That's intentional. I wanted him dead. So you weren't insane. You were angry. I was both. Murder is murder, Mr. Hayes. Angry or insane. You killed someone. Deliberately. The jury deliberates 8 hours. Returns guilty. Second-degree murder. Not first-degree. They believed emotional disturbance reduced intent. Believed he was partially out of his mind. But believed he knew what he was doing. Believed he could have stopped. Chose not to. Sentencing is April 12th. Judge Winters again. Mr. Hayes, you stabbed Dashiell Laurent 4 times. Excessive force. Clear intent. The sentence is 25 years to life. Eligible for parole after 20 years. Griffin accepts this without expression. He's 41. He'll be 61 at earliest release. His life is over. He knows this. Accepted it the moment he picked up the knife. Both are transferred to state facilities. Vivian to Riverside Women's Correctional Facility. 3 hours north. Medium security. Griffin to State Line Maximum Security Prison. Different state. For hours east. They'll never see each other again. Never share space. Never speak. But 3 months into Vivian's sentence, a letter arrives. No return address. Prison mail is screened. This one makes it through. She opens it. Recognizes the handwriting immediately. Griffin's. Block letters. Careful. Neat. Are you surviving? She reads it 3 times. Doesn't respond immediately. Thinks about it for 2 weeks. Finally writes back. Single line. Surviving is all we'll ever do now. Letters continue. Irregular. Sometimes months between. They never discuss the murders directly. Never mention Marlowe or Dashiell by name. Just exist. 2 people destroyed by the same betrayal. Connected by violence. Linked by prison. 2 years into correspondence. Griffin writes, "Do you regret it?" Vivian's response takes 4 weeks. "I regret trusting them. I don't regret them seeing who I became when trust died." Griffin writes back, "I regret that they won. They're dead. But their betrayal is what killed us. We'll die in prison. They just died. Who really lost?" Vivian doesn't answer for 6 weeks. When she finally responds, it's a single sentence. "We all lost. Every single one of us." Griffin's next letter asks, "Then why does it feel like they're still winning?" Vivian's response is longer this time. Full paragraph. "Because we're still alive to feel it. They're dead. No consequences. No prison. No guilt. No regret. Just nothing. We carry everything. The betrayal. The violence. The guilt. The consequences. We feel all of it. They feel nothing. That's why it feels like they won. Because in death they escaped. We didn't. No more letters after that. Both stop writing. What else is there to say? They said everything. Felt everything. Understood everything. Communication ends. But connection remains. Somewhere in separate prisons in different states, 2 people destroyed by betrayal serve their sentences. Alone but not alone. Connected by the worst moments of their lives. Current status. Vivian has served 6 years. 12 more before parole eligibility. She works in the prison library. Reads constantly. Helps other inmates with legal appeals. Model prisoner. No incidents. No violations. The other inmates know her story. Most sympathize. Some don't. She doesn't care either way. Just exists. Day by day. Year by year. Griffin has served 6 years. 14 more before parole eligibility. He works in the prison workshop. Builds furniture. Tables. Chairs. Keeps his hands busy. Keeps his mind empty. Other inmates leave him alone. His size helps. His crime helps. Killing someone over betrayal earns respect in prison. Twisted respect. But respect nonetheless. Neither has had visitors. Vivian's colleagues from Barrett and Klein sent letters initially, then stopped. Griffin's co-workers did the same, sent cards, then nothing. Families exist but maintain distance. Too painful, too complicated, easier to forget. Both are forgotten by everyone except each other. And they don't communicate anymore, so they're forgotten by everyone. Truly alone. The Ashford estate closed permanently. Too much bad publicity. Too much blood. Impossible to rebrand. Sits empty now. For sale. No buyers. People don't want to host weddings where 2 people died. Don't want anniversary parties where murder happened. The building decays slowly. Windows broken. Vandals spray-painted the exterior. Eventually it'll be demolished. Erased. Like the party never happened. But the videos remain. Online. Impossible to scrub completely. Someone downloads. Someone shares. Someone posts on new platforms. Forever documented. Forever available. Vivian stabbing Marlowe. Griffin stabbing Dashiell. The worst moments of their lives replayed endlessly. Commentary underneath. Debates about justice. Debates about betrayal. Debates about whether they were right or wrong. The videos will outlive them. Will exist long after they're dead. Digital immortality of the worst kind. Marlowe's family released one statement after the trial. Brief. Our daughter made terrible choices. So did everyone else that night. We grieve. We forgive. We move forward. They never spoke publicly again. Dashiell's parents said something similar. Our son betrayed his wife. But he didn't deserve to die. Nobody deserved to die. For lives destroyed. For what? Nothing. Sometimes late at night in her cell, Vivian lies awake. Thinks about that 1.7 seconds before she grabbed Marlowe. The moment she could have stepped aside. Let her leave. Let her escape. Call lawyers in the morning. File for divorce. Destroy Dashiell financially. Destroy Marlowe professionally. Legal revenge. Civilized revenge. But she didn't. She grabbed. She held. She stabbed. And now she's here. 12 more years minimum. Maybe 18. Maybe forever if parole is denied. Sometimes Griffin lies awake too. Different cell. Different prison. Same thoughts. He thinks about the moment he saw the knife. The moment he picked it up. The moment he walked toward Dashiell. For separate decisions. For separate stabs. He could have stopped after 1. After 2. After 3. But he didn't. Drove the knife into Dashiell's heart. Made sure. Made certain. Made permanent. And now Marlowe is dead anyway. Killed by someone else. Her blood on someone else's hands. And Griffin is here. 14 more years minimum. Maybe 25. Maybe life if parole is denied. Both wonder sometimes if Marlowe and Dashiell knew. In those final moments. Did Marlowe realize Vivian was going to kill her? Did Dashiell realize Griffin wouldn't stop? Did they understand cause and effect? Did they connect their 8 months of hotel rooms to their final moments of life? Or did they die confused? Die thinking this was unfair? Die believing they didn't deserve this? Neither Vivian nor Griffin will ever know. The dead don't answer questions. The dead don't explain. The dead just stay dead. While the living serve sentences. While the living feel regret. While the living wonder if any of it mattered. If the revenge was worth the price. If killing them balanced the betrayal. If blood paid for blood. The answer is no. It never balances. Betrayal takes everything. Revenge takes what's left. And in the end, everyone loses. The betrayers. The betrayed. Everyone. For people walked into the Ashford estate that night. 2 left in body bags. 2 left in handcuffs. None of them left whole. None of them left free. All destroyed by the same thing. Not violence. Not murder. Betrayal. The violence was just the ending. The betrayal was the story. And the story destroyed everyone who was part of it. Vivian Laurent. 46 years old. Prisoner 847,263. Riverside Women's Correctional Facility. Eligible for parole in 6 years. Likely to die in prison. Griffin Hayes. 47 years old. Prisoner 23,841. State line maximum security prison. Eligible for parole in 14 years. Likely to die in prison. Both alive. Both buried. Both serving life sentences for deaths that took seconds. Both destroyed by betrayal that lasted 8 months. Both connected forever by the worst night of their lives. Both alone. This is what's left when trust dies. When betrayal wins. When revenge fails. When murder solves nothing. This is what remains. Empty cells. Endless days. Permanent consequences for temporary rage. This is the ending. No redemption. No resolution. No lesson learned that makes it worthwhile. Just prison. Just time. Just loss. Everyone lost. Marlowe. Dashiell. Vivian. Griffin. Everyone. And the question nobody can answer is why. Why risk everything for an affair? Why destroy lives for revenge? Why choose violence when law exists? Why kill when divorce exists? Nobody knows. Not the dead. Not the imprisoned. Not the witnesses. Not the lawyers. Nobody. Just senseless destruction. Senseless waste. Senseless ending to lives that could have been different. Should have been different. Weren't. The anniversary party ended 6 years ago. But for Vivian and Griffin it never ends. Every day is that party. Every night is that violence. Every moment is that choice. The choice to grab. The choice to stab. The choice that ended everything. They live in that moment forever. Trapped. No escape. No parole from memory. Just existence. Just survival. Just waiting for time to pass. Waiting for life to end. Waiting for consequences to finally finish what betrayal started. This is the story of how an affair destroyed 4 lives. How betrayal led to murder. How revenge led to prison. How one night erased everything that came before. This is what happens when trust dies. When rage wins. When nobody walks away. Everyone falls. Everyone bleeds. Everyone loses. And nobody wins.